As far as innovation process is concerned, my view is that India now is undergoing change. I think there is definite direction in which India is moving, and transformation of innovation process has begun. And the factors behind this transformation are several. There are national as well as international reasons, the changing national policy as well as international policies, the unfolding of globalization. And the globalization to me is driven by this intertwined process of emerging technology, international environmental movement. So India after independence was more influenced by the state-led public policies in the Nehruvian era. State had a very dominant role to play, and during this time it helped India to develop infrastructure in science and technology. India was the first country to introduce scientific policy resolution in 1958, and then we had subsequent policies in science and technology. Till 2013 we had our latest science, technology and innovation policy. India didn't have explicit innovation policy till 2013, but now we have explicit science, technology and innovation policy. So after liberalization, there are many factors change. India's direction of exports and imports change. The role of private sector in R&D also became more significant, if not dominant. Indian companies also started investing abroad, not only in developing countries, but the developed countries. So in many ways, the transformation began. Sometimes, in this transformation, you have losers and winners. But India, I believe, benefited in many ways. You can see lots of innovations emerging. Not necessarily the radical innovation, but even innovation that were socially relevant, relevant to our needs, like a small car, like nano car, which was the cheapest car in the world, or in pharmaceutical sector, we were able to make, manufacture much cheaper drugs, vaccine. India is now supplying 90% of global vaccines. So there were innovations that were new to the country and industry, if not necessarily new to the world. But this innovation catered to the needs of mass. They made their products more accessible to common people. So the transformation that you see in our innovation process was different from many of the advanced countries that to greater extent, cater to our socio-economic needs. though in some of the sectors they are more export oriented, but still, the domestic needs are not totally ignored. We have built up in last 60 years huge infrastructure in science and technologies, the universities, the network of scientific laboratories, and our universities are producing large pool of S&T, human resource, and our human resource, is compared to many of the advanced countries, and that as far as the diversity of this human resource and scientific area is concerned, that as far as diversity is concerned, more diverse than even many of the advanced countries. You can compare it to US or some other countries. So diversity wise also it is, and the demographic dividend is on our side. So there is another advantage we have. So in nutshell, I would say that the transformation of innovation process in India has begun.